How's it going, everybody? This is Seer here, and in today's video, I'm going to be doing a pretty in-depth conversation about the economy in Marvel Strike Force with Big Positive Geek. Now, he does have a lot of spreadsheets. We kind of go into a lot of detail on everything, so I do apologize for the length of it. However, I'll be sure to put timestamps in the description below. That way, if there's a certain topic you kind of want to listen to, you can kind of jump ahead to that timestamp. But I thought this was a very good conversation. We go in depth about a lot of things happening in the game, where it's at, where it's kind of shifted over to. So hopefully you guys do enjoy this video and take care. How's it going, everybody? This is Seer here, and with me today is the Big Positive Geek. The reason I have him on is because I need some positivity for this video. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. And yeah, positivity is needed everywhere, bud.
Right? What we have to discuss today is going to be basically the economy in Marvel Strike Force. Is the sky falling? Let's start off with that. Do you think it is?
TLDR, no. But I don't think the economy is currently where everyone thinks it should be, if that makes any sense at all. So the free-to-play economy, so the economy that we get coming in core every single month to month, is not at a level where people are expecting it to be, which is to be able to take their characters to 110.
Yes, and I am definitely feeling that. Before the level cap came, I was sitting at about 300 to 400 million gold. Level 110 came out. I took my key characters up there, and then I really started to feel the crunch as far as, okay, I need to calm down. I can't, like, realistically take the new tunes to 110. I can't do what I was doing before. And then I started experiencing what other people were kind of talking about, where it's like, yeah, I can't build all of these characters. So I wanted you to come on so you can kind of talk me off, basically share your insight. I'll share mine. And somewhere in the middle, we should be able to find like a common ground of what's kind of going on in Marvel Strike Force.
Exactly, yeah.
So
Definitely.
Yeah, so you did end up going ahead and sharing with me several of your spreadsheets. So I do want to start by talking about the gold economy, because that was the first thing I kind of noticed was, hey, I'm not getting the same gold income I was before. Now, there's a lot of different aspects that was kind of coming into that, where it's like we kind of got bum rushed with a lot of out of cadence characters like Omega Red Phoenix, Force, Sentry, Jeff the Landshark, those type of characters. Yep. I think kind of threw a lot of things off for me personally. What's your take on that?
So what really happened was back end of last year, so the back quarter of last year, we got the absolute rug pulled from us where resources were concerned. And it is now starting to recover again. So back end of sort of like October, November, we were getting sub 200 million. And to take a character up to level 105 and gear tier 19, not gear tier 20, but gear tier 19, we weren't even getting enough to take 5 characters up a month. And obviously there was still the release cadence of 5 characters a month coming into us. So that has eaten at some people's gold supplies.
Yeah.
Well, that was the start of eating at people's gold supplies. And it wasn't until like December we had a really good month. And then it kind of has gone down a little bit, but still January we were able to do 5 characters or 5.35 characters to level 105. So we were within the 5 character cadence release. Now February we're not all the way through yet, but so far to date we are looking at 100 million gold just over that we've bought into the account free to play.
Okay.
Now that is farming the gold orb nodes every single day.
Right. So that's
I used to farm the training orb nodes. But this year I flicked over to the gold orb I'm testing the economy and where your best sort of bang for buck is, whether it's farming the gold orb nodes or whether it's farming the training orb nodes, and what keeps your account more a level playing field where training materials and gold is concerned.
Yeah, that's kind of what I've been doing too. So when I still had that 340 million gold stash, when I knew the level 110 was coming based on like the information we had, it's like, hey, every time around January, level cap. Yeah. There I started switching to let me get my training mats up there. And then when I started taking the characters back up to the 110, 109, 108, as I was going up, then I switched back to the gold. So basically what I have right now is about 21,000 of the L3s, 830 of the L4s. This would essentially get me a pretty good amount of level up. So I can get like 46 million gold to go to 110, but I typically do 105 G19, which is that 40 million gold. And that allows me to do quite a bit of characters. My training mats is okay. For me, it's the gold. So I have been farming the gold nodes. So that would be Lilandra, Scorpion, Azazel, Omega Sentinel, Spider-Man Noir, and Echo as the gold. And then the other ones that's offbeat for the hearts are going to be the training mats. So I do keep those in my favorites. That way I remember to use my gold to farm those nodes kind of daily. Now, I am kind of hoarding my campaign energy because of the Odin leaderboard. This is going to be like a drop in the bucket. This is like nothing, but it's going to be kind of a head start. So that way, if I decide to push on the leaderboard, I don't have to spend as much. So there is that.
And I think what you've got to remember is, and you know, I've seen this going around the community a bit, but what you got to remember is that Marvel Strike Force only asks you to spend 600 campaign energy every single day.
Yeah,
like that is all you need to do to complete the objectives.
Right down here.
And spending any more than 600 is actually really a waste of resources, because you're not going to get another orb out of that unless you go into your 100 core refreshes for energy. So you could go ahead and farm yourself a training orb, and yes, you're going to get more training materials, and yes, you're going to get more gold from the nodes themselves, but it is very much a drop in the bucket.
Yeah. It is what it is at that point. I mean, if you're still trying to push for the 110, I think go for it so we can kind of hit the level cap sooner. Typically, though, as soon as I finish the passes, I stop burning both of these. If I'm doing just one of them, like say I want to decide to hoard my campaign energy, I would only use the ISO campaign energy so I can kind of stock up on the campaign just to finish this off. You actually don't need both of these to finish your strike passes, what I kind of noticed.
No, you don't. Not at all. Now you do not need to do that at all.
Now, as far as the training mats portion goes, let's go ahead and jump over to that tab. Actually, so you said 5 characters is what we can take up every single month.
Every single month.
And we
do level 105 and G19.
Now, we typically get about 3 characters released a month. It's approximately like one every 10 days. I know some people's like, hey, we just had a character release. It's like, that was about 7 days ago. They just announced it. It's 3 days from now. So it's 10 days is the release cadence. That's about 3 a month.
That's correct.
That gives you about 80 million gold or so that you can kind of stock up or use on your reworked characters for the team, whatever it is that you need to do, right?
Yeah, precisely. Oh. And I think a lot of people are in the position where they are using it on their reworked characters. You know, a lot of players have come to the game. You know, players even like myself that are like year 3 or 3 years into playing the game, a very similar position.
Yeah, so I don't think 5.35. I don't think that's a terrible number when we look at it as a whole. I think the issue was, like I kind of said, it's like we kind of got bombarded with like off cadence release things that made us dip into our gold resources so much more than we would have, especially with the level cap being built in there, which we're to talk about that level cap. So
it's that compounding of people not understanding what was capable of, and this is why I track the gold.
Yeah.
This is why I track all the materials or all the income of the materials in the game, because if you don't know what you've got coming in, you don't know what you can spend.
Yeah. I agree. Like when I was coming up, I made sure that I would end up gaining gold every single day. So that means like, okay, I'm going to take these characters up to X amount of levels. I'm not going to go beyond that. That way, keep my stash going for when new characters come out. That's how I kind of approached that mid-game level, and it really helped. So I didn't kind of overspend, which definitely happens in this game.
Oh, 100%. It's like honey trap after honey trap after honey trap to try and get you to spend money.
It really is. Now,
that's pretty much what it is.
Now, as far as the training materials go, so this is showing for May. So May 2025, it looks like we were able to take up about 8.41 characters. In January, 7.1. So this did end up dropping as far as the training mats goes, right? Yes,
it did, yeah. But obviously, the thing with the training mats is that, and January especially, I was farming both. I was doing my 100 core refreshes and farming both sets of nodes. So that was both the gold orb and the training orb nodes. That was something I set myself during January, because whenever I do build positively, always, which is the series that I do every month that tracks the tracks the economy of the game, basically.
Yeah.
And whenever I do that, the most common comment I would get in the comment section was, "Oh yeah, but you're only like that because you're not using all your campaign energy every day." So I thought I would test that. And it makes such a small difference.
Yeah.
It's like so negligible that it is untrue. Like it's not even like a quarter of a character or anything like that. It is a very, very negligible difference.
It really is, because say you do the training mats, that gets you about one training orb a day. Average, that's about 30 orbs a month, and you get, what's it like? Technically about
so the minimum
12?
Minimum drop on it is 8, so it's like 24 training L4s a day.
Yeah.
But it is a drop in the ocean when you consider it.
Yeah, that's not even like a full level of a character.
When you hit the end game. It's not a full level. Over the course of the month, it's about 6 million-ish gold, just over. So
I'll take the gold. I'll take that 6 million gold.
But even there, you can see that like in January, my training materials coming into the account way outstripped what I could spend gold on.
Yeah.
So where training mats are really cool, if you haven't got the gold to back it up, you can't use them.
So here's the starting balance for each of those. So 7,400, 46,000, 10,000, 0 of the L4s. And at the end of it, gold cost, gold, purple, so 13, about 14,000, 18,000, 4,500. Yeah. I think once you get to the point where your training mats are good, then you're kind of okay, unless you're pushing more characters than you should to level 110, because that's so expensive. Which again, we're going to talk about the 110 later on in this video.
Definitely.
Now, as far as when the training materials kind of dropped from that like level, like bringing 8 up down to the 7 characters per month, was that around October also?
That was October, September. Yeah, September, October. So it depends on how technical you want to be. So I reported it as September because September's core economy was affected by that calendar that we got that had the 65 million gold and the 6,600 L4 training modules. So effectively it was September that change started, because I don't think they took that calendar into, I don't want to say this, but it looks like from all the tracking I've done through the multiple years I've tracked this for now, which is coming on nearly 2 years now, I've been tracking the economy of the game. And it looks like there is a set amount that they allow us a month that comes into the account free to play. And if we get compensation, generally that will come out of the budget.
Yeah, I kind of noticed that too.
However, I think September was an anomaly. I think they were definitely trying to crank it down slightly, because if you look at October's figure, it was 183 million golds worth of training modules. September's, if you took that 6,600 L4s off, was 182 million golds worth of training modules. So
yeah,
that like tracks properly as to what they were thinking the core economy was going to be from then on, because you go into November, it was down again 148 million, but it was, you know, around that similar point. And then December was 196 million. That's in 2025. So
yeah, I'm wondering if in September, because that's the same thing that happened with the gold portion, is they ended up giving out that calendar. So I'm wondering if they kind of made a mistake. It's like, oh, we didn't give enough, so here, take this to kind of make up for the loss of gold. Because here it's
either that, or they just was like, well, we're going to turn the taps off, or not turn the taps off, but, you know, we're going to turn the taps down in September. But then they decided, well, do you know what? That, because it took so long for them to sort out that Secret Warrior compensation, because that's what that was.
Oh, right. Yeah. I forgot about that.
It was the calendar for the Secret Warrior token debacle that happened. And I think they just let the community have that 65 million and the 6,600 L4s not out of budget, which is, you know, kind of them.
It's something, right?
It's something, but it did catch a lot of people off guard, because obviously that month they had more resources probably than what they should have done, and that's caused overspending as well. So that was where the real problem started.
Now, as far as the power course goes, so this was something you kind of shared with me before we did the video and everything. Now, as far as the power course, didn't they remove some from the command center, and that's kind of what affected the power core change?
So
I think it was command center, right?
Power cores, in all honesty, this year have stayed pretty good, to be fair, even with the removal. So we go back as far as like August last year, August. 22,000, 20,000. So August was 22.5. September was 21. October was 21.5, pretty much. November was nearly 21,000. So it's always sort of around that same value. December dropped down just below the 20,000 mark, and then January and February. Well, February so far we're sat on 9,000. Just over 9,000 power cores.
Okay, so January we're sitting at about 20,132. What rank are you in Arena as far as getting these numbers, out of curiosity?
So generally, if you were to ask me this back in like March, April, May last year, June, July, August, I would have always said rank 1 to 10. December, things happened in the family, and January again. And so I've not been as competitive in Arena. So that's between rank 1 to 20.
Yeah, for me, I typically sit, right now I'm at rank 9. I typically, I'll fall down to the 50. So I get at least about 400 every payout. And my stash is sitting at about 2,500. I spent about 8,000 of that unlocking Moon Girl because I didn't want to use money on her. It's like, I'll just use my power cores.
Yeah.
I got the unlock that way, and I'll build the stash up. I'll probably do like a couple of those $5 ore pulls and then power core the rest of it. I'm just gonna get the 3-star on the champions team. That's my plan.
That's interesting. So is that your plan for Nova as well? Because I know you're a big Cosmic Crucible guy yourself.
Yeah.
And obviously with Nova Sam Alexander's ability to be plug and played into the Starjammers, are you going to go for a few more stars on him though?
No, I'm just going to do the 3-star. The reason being is like my Starjammer team, wrong button. My Starjammer team, I got diamonds on all of them. I got 5 diamond, 4 diamond. I got a 4 rocket, and rocket's the one I would end up taking out. Having like a 3-star, 4, or even a 5-star character in there, I think it's going to hinder my Starjammers team. So until I get diamonds on Nova, which is what, 6 months from now, he's not going to be on the Starjammers team for a long time, is my thinking on it.
Fair way to look at it.
Yeah, so for now, they're just going to be that Crucible team, or not Crucible, they're going to be that raid team, the event team for any Scourges, Trials, whatever it is that we need them for.
Yeah.
But they're not going to go in the Starjammers, is my thought process.
Fair enough.
Now, the next tab is the T4 economy, and you and me both are feeling the T4s.
Oh, yes.
My goodness, what happened to the T4s? Well, the T4s, let me jump back in game. If you guys forgot, they removed it from the Alliance War. Was that last month or the month before?
The last month, or this month, basically. It was when we started getting Jeff.
Yeah, so when we started getting Jeff the Landshark, they basically took out the T4s in here, added in Jeff the Landshark. So if you end up going over to leaderboard, payout, we get the gold, we lost the T4s. Now it's Jeff the Landshark.
So January was a absolutely hoofing month for T4s. It was like 3,847 T4s, which is pretty good for a T, for T4s.
You said that was last month, right? The December or
but what we did have during that time was the we not only had the war payouts, but we also had the danger room that replaced or was supposed to be replacing the war payouts for these T4s.
And that was everybody's concern. It's like, okay, well, how often are we going to get the danger room? Because November, I'm showing you got about 4,460, December 3,800, and now for January about 3,800 again. So that is a huge drop, because that's about 600 to 800 T4s that we're losing every single month. August we got 5,500. Wow. September we got 4,000. October 4,200. So yeah, it's about 600 to 800, which if you do all 4 T4s on the character, it's about 840 T4s. Unless you decide not to do the basic on them, then it's about 660. I believe it's 660 on there. I think my math is correct.
Yeah, that's right.
So it's a lot, especially when you talk about the 5 characters that you can take up every single month. So you basically got to cut costs. Like, okay, maybe I'm not going to do the basics on these characters, right?
And one interesting factor is what we're actually feeling at the moment. Now, people are really feeling that T4 thing. So a little bit of a mid-month update, shall we say, here.
Yep.
So on the 15th, because obviously I track the data at 9 p.m. my time, which is server reset for me here in the UK. Mm-hmm. That's when I do all my figures. So as soon as 9 p.m. comes and server reset comes, that's when all my figures go in. So I haven't got today's figures yet, obviously, because thingy. So we'll take from the 1st of January to the 15th of January in to compare it to this month, February. January, we had in the first 15 days 2,310 T4s.
Okay.
So far this month, we have earned 1,591 T4s. That is a difference of 719 T4s.
So what you're saying is Danger Room should be coming back soon, right? right?
Right.
Now, as far as Danger Room goes, how many T4s did we get in Danger Room for those that don't know?
500?
That doesn't make up the difference, does it?
No. You're still going to be 219 short. Now, they have put T4s in other places, but they're not like...
Something
like we're getting them in those Dark Star, not so much the T4 ability bursts, because we've always been getting those, but like if you go to the command center right now.
Oh, command center. Okay.
Is it still there? Have we still got the Dark Star power up one?
No, we do not.
No. So I think in the Dark Star power up one and the Ursa Major power up one, there was some T4s in that, but it's nowhere close to
also
that, and that's been gutted.
Remember to do this still, because that's still 5 T4s every single day. That's about 150 a month. So don't sleep on this. I need to burn my energy. So I'm going to do that right now. I'm just going to farm my gold real quick as we're talking. I have like 50 minutes as far as this timer goes. Let me do this. I'm just going to burn both of these. Now, as far as the T4s, so even if we do end up getting a
Danger Room,
that's 500. We do get the T4s for doing the Spotlight raid. That's about 30 a month or 30 a day there. Where else can we get the T4s? Because you said there was the command center for those events, right?
Yeah, so the Dark Star and the Ursa Major Command Center events that we've been getting, they've had some T4s in it. I think there was about 50 in each of those. But it's really like, I don't know, they've just really changed where things have gone to.
Yeah. There's nothing in these. There's nothing in the events tab showing the T4s. So hopefully there's going to be like maybe a tower that can kind of add some additional in there. But that's a huge, massive hit on that. We do get some T4s, I think, in the passes, right? Or is it just the pay track?
I think it is only the pay track if you do get them.
Which that's going to be another conversation we'll have later. It's like, okay, so are the passes bringing the value back because of those? So there's none in the strike pass, so it might be the battle pass. Those are L4s. I don't see T4s.
Might not be.
Gold.
Might just be the L4s.
There's L4s, gold. That's not ability. Yeah, so I don't see any in the passes. So it looks like there's not passes. So it seemed like the T4s are kind of like what they were a while ago, where it's like we need more T4s is kind of what I'm feeling, because I have 1,500 of these, and I still don't have Jeff the Landshark unlocked. We have Nova coming, so that's basically taking all of my T4s for those 2 characters when they come out. Because Jeff, I wanted T4 all of his abilities. He's an amazing character. Nova, I think I can get away with by doing 3 of the abilities. I don't know if I need the basic on him or not. I don't remember looking at that one, but yeah, I think that's all we have. Then we have the new characters coming. We have Eclipse coming, which is going to be original character. She probably needs all 4 T4s just because she is that original character, right?
Well, and you think you've just had Sentry come out, who's also needed all T4s because there isn't one really that you could skip on him.
And Magneto.
If you have, Magneto is a 0 skip T4 character. Yeah,
so the good thing is a lot of the reworked characters you can get away with doing maybe like 2 of the T4s, and that will save you some if you're trying to be more like cost efficient on it. But my stash of T4s went down because of having the retcon team, which had the 4 reworked characters. I had already had some of those done on there. We had the 3 reworked team of champions. Just a lot of these reworked teams, we still have to throw investment in it, which kind of feels bad. It's like, well, I have them kind of partially build, but you still need to still take them up. T4, some additional abilities on those.
And what you've got to think about also is that, like, how does this look to new players? How are new players coping? Because if you're a new player and you've got to, Commander level 110 and everything like that. So you've been playing the game for a little while, but you're not going to have a stash of T4s.
Yeah, I think what they needed to do on a lot of those like reworked is do what they did with the Secret Warriors when they gave the tokens out. It's like, hey,
I don't think we'll ever see that again.
That was very generous of them, and I think people were hoping and expecting. It's like, well, retcons for reworked one new. Are we going to get tokens for them? So now, since we're talking about like the release cadence and everything, that's something else that's definitely changed in the game. So if we end up going back, we kind of figured out it was around Brimstone when things really kind of started going away, where it's like these characters right here, where it's like Heartless down. What ended up happening around this area?
So basically the free-to-play releases got dragged out massively. You know, we did have some outliers beforehand. So like in 2025, you had the likes of Falcon Joaquin. So it always beforehand, it always seemed to be like the outliers. So like they were like the
glue for the team.
The glue for the team was always like the one that took the longest. So for example, you had Falcon, you had Havoc from the Starjammers, you had Hercules, who's arguably probably the glue really when it comes to the
that Ray team and the War team.
The Ray team itself and the War team. And then it sort of went back to being quite nice again. And like, you know, we had Songbird at 34 days, but that's still just over a month. And the other were way within a month. And then
it got good around here.
Yeah. We got as far as sort of, as you said, we got as far as Brimstone. And that's when it really started to, eke out again. So Damon was 21 days before his free-to-play release, so that's like 3 weeks, and usually it was like a week or two. Living Mummy was 45 days before he had a free-to-play release event.
Then Hellcat 33.
Hellcat was 33. Lady Bullseye, Steel Serpent, and Swordmaster were all in the mid-20s, so right around miles here, off being seen. And then your Cannonball, Wolfsbane, and all that, they were like 40 odd days between the free to play release and the paid release.
Now, something interesting that you kind of brought up around Brimstone, before that they would end up entering the store at 14 days. Now it's at about 3 weeks at 21 days, right?
21 days. Yep.
So that also changes things. I know some people do like to use their currency to buy those characters when they enter the store. I don't think so. I'm more of I'm just going to buy G20 only, unless it was Damon. Then I took Damon up to the diamond levels for me. Then I went right back to the G20s just because that G20 is so important for me personally.
Yeah, correct. And I think that is very much dependent on where you are in the game. And when I say where you are in the game, like for someone like you who's up there in like High Masters, Grandmasters, Cosmic Crucible, G20 means a lot because at current, if you're not fully spending, you can't really go to Purple 5 because your resources are limited there. You can't really go to level 110 because, as we can see, our resources are capped there. So the best you can go to is like 105 G20. And then obviously there's the diamonds, which everyone's getting, you know, a chance at, but
chance.
That's sort of, it's a chance. It's a chance. But if you get in Grandmasters or in High Masters, if you go up against someone who has like that character at G20, Purple 5, and level 110, and with the diamonds, like if you don't have your characters at G20, you're then 4 level progress systems behind, and that's you're going to feel that, you know.
Yeah, when you said the purple 5, that actually reminded me of something to kind of add on to this list. I don't know what they're doing with the like ISO and the crystals. I have 421 orbs I can open. Typically, I need to open about 50 to 60 orbs of that character just to get them up to about purple 3. So this is taking a massive hit. And considering I'm a spender, I'm at that amount, and we don't have the bang for your buck. I don't know where we're supposed to be getting this purple ISO. There's not even a campaign for us to farm this the ISO 8 campaign. It just goes up to the blue portion. So I don't know what's going on with the purple ISO, because outside of like spending on there, I don't know where else to get it. It's really weird as far as that bottleneck goes.
It's the only place to get it is from, you know, the only place to get it is from spending, really. Yeah,
which, I mean, we can get like the leaderboards for, let's say, like, nope, not that one. We can get the leaderboards. Where's the Winterguard Assemble? Nope, that's the event there. Here we go. The ISO Burst, there's that one, and it wasn't there, but we just had a leaderboard. We got like the purple 5, but we didn't really get any crystals.
Contract one.
Yeah, we didn't get crystals for that, right? Because the crystals is what I need. I don't know, man. I really don't know about that.
Then they come from you get some crystals from war. Is it war payouts? Nope. It's somewhere.
I don't think it's raid payout. I don't know, but regardless, we don't get enough crystals. I need more crystals.
No. I mean, to go with you there, I have 1,379 of the orbs that I can open, but I'm not opening them because I can't take my characters to purple 4 and 5 because of the ions.
Yeah, I tried,
because I don't spend.
I tried taking the important characters up to the purple 5, the ones I really, really like. The teams I use a lot, I tried taking those up to the purple 4, and then I realized, wait a minute, my crystal stash is just dropping so fast. So now I'm just taking those up to the purple 3, and I don't know if that's like stabilizing it or where it's at. I need to start kind of doing a BPG spreadsheet for those. Now, the next topic is the fractals. You sent over the spreadsheet for that one, so let me pull that one up. How are we doing on the fractals currently compared to the previous currency? Are we on pace? Are we behind, ahead?
So I need to actually get up the sigil economy, don't I? That would be a good idea.
Because I know typically when we do the switch over, they kind of give us a burst before, and then we kind of stay at that high burst of currency. Right now I'm sitting around I think 400k of the 456k is where I'm currently sitting.
If we were to compare it to the November, which was when we had the first month of sigils, because I think that's the easiest way to do it. So the first month of sigils, we had a grand total of 1,066,100 come in.
Okay. That's for the sigils.
So far, that was sigils, yep.
Okay.
And fractals, currently we're on 943,600. So we're about 100,000 behind.
100,000?
But we are on pace.
Yeah, I think on pace because we're about halfway through the month. The spreadsheet you sent over, we're at about 850k. So that would put us at about the 1.6, 1.7 million. So I think we're good for the sigils. Again, I always just purchase the G20. So what I typically do is I look to see where I'm behind at. Tech, we haven't had a lot of tech characters. So I'm sitting at 323, 244. So I'm not going to buy those. I've been specifically looking for bio and mutant pieces currently, just because we got the champions team, which is going to be bio characters, and we just had a huge mutant crunch, so I'm trying to get my mutant stash back up there. So
yeah, so I approach this a lot differently to you. So mine goes on the So what I do, as I'm free to play, I'm generally a team behind. So currently the team I'm working on is Winterguard. So that is the characters that I'm buying from the store is Winterguard.
Okay.
So we've got Darkstar and Ursa Major in there now. And I'm always then looking for the team ahead's Gear Tier 20. So that's what I normally spend mine on.
Gotcha. Now, as far as the next topic I want to discuss on here, the level 110. So I kind of hinted we're going to talk about the level 110 portion. I tried pushing onto this level 110 maxed event. We have about 24 days left on here. I'm currently sitting on the Mystic portion on here. Then I have to do the Mutant portion. The only reason I'm doing that is because I already kind of invested into this. So I want to get these Radiant Diamond Orbs. I want to get some of the refund back for kind of investing in these. And where I'm currently sitting at, if we end up sorting by the character level, is I have my Fantastic Four is level 110. I took my mythic characters up, so Mephisto, Odin, Xavier, Blue Marvel. Characters I use kind of daily, including like Daemon, Null, Blastar, Quasar. After that, I was working up certain characters like the Howard the Duck because he's a tech character, Red Guardian because he's a skill character, trying to push into the command center. Where I'm at now is I don't give two craps about either of those. I'm going to still finish the 108. This right here is not realistic if you are a cheap spender, free to play. Maybe if you're like a mid to high end spender, you can try to get these characters done. But due to the release cadence, due to the gold economy change, the training store, everything that's changed in the game, this is basically a trap for you to burn through all your resources, and I fell for it. Is that kind of a safe take?
Very, very safe take. And we were discussing this before the before we started recording, and the way they're structuring events now, and you see a lot of content creators going on about the fact that there's, the rewards aren't worth it anymore. And I think that is on purpose because the events are no longer really structured towards giving you a carrot to chase after. They are structured insofar as that there are players who play this game who are going to do this no matter what.
Yeah.
And to those players, whatever they get back out of this, it doesn't really matter to them because if they don't, if they don't have the materials for something, they'll just go and buy it off the store.
Right. Which I think that's intentional because if we look at the previous months, I stopped buying the battle passes. I stopped buying the strike passes because the value wasn't there. The characters that were in there didn't really entice me. The gold, I had 300, 400 million gold. I didn't need the gold. I didn't need the Elite 7s. I didn't need the training mats. With what's happened in the game recently, as you see, I end up buying the strike pass. I'm probably going to end up buying the battle pass just to get that additional 17.5 million gold, because $20 for 17 million gold right now and getting some of these character shards, getting those G20.
Quite good.
It's the value's back in those because of the changes they made, which leads me to kind of something that I started thinking about, which is why I reached out to you, is I think what happened is there was kind of a reset in the economy is what it feels like to me. I don't know if that's kind of what the conclusion came from for you.
For me, I think the game had become too free-to-play friendly.
There was no value for the spenders, which I was one of those kind of shoutings like, why are the whales, Krakens invested in this when they don't get the edge that they used to get? Now they got the edge again. Yeah,
massively. Did they swing it too far? Quite possibly.
I think a little bit. I think just a little bit. The T4s is a big one for me.
Possibly. The T4s definitely is hurting.
The ISO crystals.
And I do think really that we're now in February. I reached 110, I think and I didn't have a huge hoard of campaign energy. Like I had about 23k, something like that total.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't have a massive hoard of campaign energy like that. I do hoard it, I do hoard my campaign energy, but not like that. I still spend the 600 campaign energy every day. I still spend my 400 ISO 8 energy every day. And then the rest that's left over from that just ticks over into the, just stays there. So I'm not like some people who are hoarding who just won't spend anything and then they'll just put the power cores in and job done. So I hit 110 about a week ago now, roughly.
Okay.
And I would have thought that by now or soon we should be at the point where they're looking at loosening up the goal for people to start being able to take stuff up to 120 to 110, sorry. But I'm going to be honest, I don't think that's going to happen until 23 days time.
Well, the next thing I want to talk about is this right here. Finding Xavier, March 10th, 2025. This is about a month away, and this would end up being the time frame for Annihilus, which is going to be G21. So not only are we going to have to manage our resources that we currently have for the level 105, G19, which is 40 million gold. If you take that up to G20, that's about 45 million gold. Add another, about 7 million gold to go up to 110. It's about
it's 13 million to go to 110.
13 million. I was off a little bit on there. And then we're going to have to factor in the G21, which it's about 4 million gold to take a character out to G20. Say it's another 5 million gold, maybe 6 million gold to go up to G21. I don't know what they're planning to do with the gold as far as that portion goes with all of this and G21.
Yeah. It's going to be really, really interesting. So the economy's got to change soon.
Yes.
But
yeah, because right now as it sits, I sent you a message talk about like where my character levels are at. I have where are you message? I had about 9 characters at level 110. Yeah, 14 at level 110, 9 characters at 109, 8 characters at level 108. And I'm going to end up taking some of the Mystic characters up. I think I'm going to be good on the Mutant portion. I might take 1 or 2 more up to 110. After that, every character is going to 109 or 105, G19, just because of how intense it is to kind of do that. Even though there's a massive power level between 105 and 110. It's ridiculous as far as how hard they hit.
You think you had 14 characters there?
Yeah.
At 110, so that would be 13 million gold. That's 182 million. So you spent pretty much a whole month's worth of gold income that we get free to play.
Yeah, and was it worth it? I don't know.
Well, again, I think this is the thing now. I think let's not beat around the bush here, right? So PvP, that is the game mode that drives the money in this game.
It is. Because raid teams, we can give 2 craps about raid teams, just get them up to where they need to be, stem through it. That's what I'm doing with the champions team, which is the next topic, which is our team's skippable or shelvable based on that method.
If you'd asked me this question...
It used to be no.
If you'd asked me the question pre-Age of Annihilus, I would have said, yeah, you could have. The biggest problem you have now is that, and like, I know you didn't notice this, and I only noticed this when I was actually doing all the research for the Phoenix Force video that I made. But if you look at the Phoenix Force, they now all have the Chapter 4 Annihilation Wave as their tag.
I had no clue.
And same with Retcon, which I didn't have a clue about until we looked at it before here. Before this, before we started recording.
Yep.
So Retcon are also an Annihilation Wave, a Chapter 4 Annihilation Wave team, which effectively means that no, you can't skip a team because you never know with this when they're going to be needed for that PvE content that's going to be coming around the corner that will have the rewards in it that, you know, are either going to reward, say, red stars for Annihilus or, you know, or whatever it is. It might even be the fact that I don't want to say this because it might come true, but it might be that these Chapter 4 Annihilation Wave teams are the teams we need to build to G21 to get through the Annihilus Dark Dimension.
Man,
because a bit like the Blue Marvel one. Well, because a bit like the Blue Marvel one, they'll probably put some form of, you know, buffs on the nodes to get you through those things.
Yeah, which we're kind of talking about that. Phoenix Force, they got the Crucible tag. They should be good. Winter Guard, they got the War tag. That should be good if there's a war. The issue with the retcon, though, is how their stuff is war defense. And since they're going to be on the offense side, I don't know how retcon would end up being in that game mode. Jeff might be good because he's good, but you're not going to be able to take advantage of the war defense stuff.
They could quite easily do it on the nodes if they just put a
like a scourge or something
into the node, saying that a scourge or a perk on the node that just said war defense abilities are active on this node.
Or the offensive side, probably. That could be one way around it, getting a scourge or something on it. I would recommend, because I know not everybody's into Crucible, is hold off on building your Phoenix Force if you haven't done so already. Hold off on building your retcon until those game modes launch to know what teams to take. Like me taking Star-Lord up, I love Star-Lord as a character, so I was going to take him up. I don't use him. Same with Adam Warlock. I regret putting the investment of like the additional levels into those characters. Not so much Star-Lord because I love Star-Lord, but they are just sitting there collecting dust. That's a lot of resources I just wasted.
Star-Lord's sat at level 45 for me at the minute. He's not even on my build radar
Mine was like level 40 or 50 is the last time I used him. And it's like, okay, I'm going to take him up because I love Star-Lord. I got 4 diamond on Star-Lord too. I don't use him.
I've actually got a really interesting theory. And I know this isn't part of the thing, but I want to share it with you to see it because I haven't done this yet. But I've actually got a theory about what is going to happen with Annihilus. And I actually think that there's a lot of speculation that he'll be the new arena meta team, and I don't think that's going to be the case. And I actually think that it could be Quasar that is the character that gets dropped off of the team.
That would be insane because he is so good.
Well, if you look, right, so you have Blastar, right?
Yep.
And he is Cosmic Crucible based.
Yep.
And you have Thunderstrike, who is also Cosmic Crucible based.
Yes, he is.
Now, Star-Lord and Adam Warlock aren't tied to any game mode at all.
Right.
So their abilities work in every game mode.
Yep.
So you've got 4 out of 5 pieces there of a Cosmic Crucible team.
You do.
Add Annihilus in with Cosmic Crucible tags. You have like a uber Cosmic Crucible team.
I think that would turn people off though, because not everybody's into Crucible, not everybody's into War. So it might be something, maybe you drop Quasar for the Crucible, you drop maybe like a Thunderstrike or something for the Crucible or for the War portion. I think Warlock's gonna be the one that gets dropped, but the issue being is the speed stat on these characters. So like Star-Lord is 120 speed, and Adam Warlock, he's I think 120. Yeah, so they're just so slow. So I know Dorky Dad's been saying it's like they need to do something like increase the speed stat of those characters. I think even
but then
Blastar,
maybe that's what Annihilus is going to do.
I think he's going to boost the speed stat because Blastar is 127, which is okay-ish. Thunderstrike is 126, and I think Quasar is 129. Yeah, 129. It's just these two being 120 in today's meta is like so slow that they don't even take a turn, which is terrible. But yeah, as far as like skipping and shelving teams, I think the raid teams get them to where they kind of do what they need to do. So like the 105, G19, don't take him beyond
Yep.
that level. If you're like doing the back end of the raids, Moon Girl, she's not going to be able to do much. She's like standing passive for the Absolute A-Force team. She's probably not going to sit on that team for a while. You asked me about Nova before the video. What do I plan to do with him? My Starjammers team, I have diamonds, high diamonds on a lot of these characters. It's not worth me dropping, say, Rocket Raccoon for a Nova that's going to be about 3 to 5 red. He's not going to jump on the team, I think, until I get the diamonds. So those characters are strictly raid for me, which is why I'm not like doing massive investments into those. The next team, the Daring Warriors, I think that was going to be a Crucible team. Eclipse is going to have dual game modes on there, so I'm not sure what's going to happen with that. However, with Eclipse, there's a massive thing that was in the blog where Winter Guard and the Champions team, you need both of those teams in some capacity to get Eclipse character shards. I don't know how much we need to invest in the Champions in order to get this done. That part worries me because I'm going to be kind of upset if I need to like get more stars on like Nova or Moon Girl, or if I need to take a lot of those characters up to G20 because I don't want to. What's your speculation on Eclipse?
I think it is going to be highly put behind G20 and Purple ISO 4 and 5.
They've moved away, it looks like, from the star levels, because I remember when they started doing the star levels and they switched it to like the gear and everything, which is more friendly.
I think they've let us go with stars. I think they just, character shards aren't an issue anymore as such, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, especially with the way they've been changing like the character release cadence and everything. I think it's going to be locked behind gear tier, and I'm hoping we can get away with just using one of the teams, but it lists both on here. We're going to need the champions in some form. I'm just not sure what we need to do for this, but with that being said, she looks amazing. I love the design of this character. Yeah, and the fact she has a Patronus right there, I'm all about the Patronus.
Yes.
All right. So that's
Luna's Patronus. So is there a rabbit there?
Yeah.
Is it a rabbit or is it fox?
It was Luna. She had the rabbit. She was one of my favorite characters in Harry Potter. She's amazing.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts about the economy, the cadence, anything that you want to kind of touch base on?
Yeah. So I wouldn't say, from someone who tracks the economy, I wouldn't say that the sky is falling with the economy, but it's certainly tight and could be loosened a little bit. Mm-hmm. But at the moment, if you are cheap to play or free to play, or even I even want to say like a mid spender, like your like ceiling is sort of level 105. That's where you need to be looking at.
105 G19, that 40 million gold, anything beyond that, just do like the important characters. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And by beyond that, I just mean like G20. Like the 110 is so far out of reach, especially with G21 coming, Annihilus coming. I don't want to fall behind on the Annihilus chase myself. I know a lot of people are like, oh, but that's going to be like a year away from me. It might be about 6 months, 9 months. You don't want to backtrack and hurt yourself in the end game for that, in my opinion.
No, exactly. And, it's... They need to do something. And I think... Actually, I had a comment on one of my videos, and it was probably the best comment I had heard. And that is that the core economy itself, rather than just keep inflating the economy, which is what's happening at the moment, is that we keep going to this top end and we keep like inflating it and that. What they need to do is to reduce the costs of the earlier levels.
Yeah.
So bring that down slightly. Like if you were to bring down, I don't know, let's say if you were to take out the up to level 100, So from level 1 to level 100, you're looking at 23 million gold. If you could drop that down by about 10 million, so if you made that 13 million to go from level 1 to level 100, that would make the current like economy that they're giving us work with what their release cadence is.
And then basically 101 to 110 would have like the huge chunk of it type of thing. I don't hate that. Because going up to 100 for us endgame, that's not really going to do too much. We'll still take them up to 105, but that's going to help out those like early and mid game players. I like that. But
so it's just really just a economy change.
Yeah,
but you do it at the base level, so you don't do it like in a token or anything like that. You do it at you make an announcement about this. You do it at a base level, and you just bring it down and make that early game, mid game accessible for like the new players who are coming into this. Because else the game, if we don't get new players in, the game will die.
Yeah, which they
I don't want to be, you know. They I don't want to be doom and gloom. They did an amazing job with the early game stuff.
That's what I was about to say. Like, yeah, they tweaked the early game about over a year and a half ago to where it was amazing for those like early game players, mid game players. Then they started tweaking the end game, and now they're kind of fixing like, hey, the end game didn't really have the value and the advantage that it used to have. Now they got a potential for the 4 to 5 diamonds if they pull it. They can get to that 110 mark where we can't really get to the 110 yet. And using the character cadence change, that's why I said I think what they did is they kind of did like a reset on the economy, on the game itself, to try to set the tone again to where if you spend these to get this stuff done, you do have that advantage where before you really didn't have the advantage. So I think that's kind of what they ended up doing is they just resetting things, trying to make it not a new game, but kind of shift it in a sense, is what I think happened.
Yeah, 100%. That is exactly what they've done.
Yeah.
They basically just tried to make the end game a little bit more exclusive.
In a sense.
A little bit more. But the problem is then, like, if you were to reduce the costs, like I just suggested, if you were to reduce the training costs between levels 1 to 100, that would keep players around till, you know,
but they get to the 100
mid game. The good mid game, and then they go up again, and then you really start getting them at like 105, 110. That's when you really start like asking for stuff from them. Whereas I know a lot of players are like giving up once they hit level 100. Like your everyday player, and I see this. Like I spend a lot of my time on like the Facebook groups and stuff like that, where those players are maybe not as engaged as some of us who hang around the Discord servers and who watch the content creators on Twitch or watch the content creator videos. And they're like, you know, I've gotten to like level 95, level 100, and I've got nothing. I've got no materials to spend.
Yeah, it's definitely that management system. Once kind of get to the end game portion on here.
And I think that it has to do with the fact that how the game is made. It's purely how the game is designed and made. I went back to play on the 10th anniversary. I went back to play some Star Wars Galaxy Heroes. My boys played it for years, but I went back to play it. And there's one thing that I've noticed about that game that isn't in this game. Now, I don't want this game to be exactly like Star Wars Galaxy Heroes, but one thing I've noticed is that in this game, so in Marvel Strike Force, there is your 12-month meta.
Yeah.
And if you're not with that 12-month meta, game over. Like, you can't do anything. Whereas in other games, like Star Wars Galaxy Heroes, the stages of the game almost has a meta. So like there are teams that are useful for every stage of the game, and that doesn't happen in Marvel Strike Force.
Yeah.
Which means you've got to skip so much content. Like you've got to skip things like you know, and this is like some of the really good content as you come up like Apocalypse.
Yeah.
You have to skip Apocalypse, because if you don't skip Apocalypse, well, at the level you're on, you've probably spent your monthly gold income on building 4 characters that you're never going to touch again.
Yeah, and the thing about Apocalypse too is he does have that mythic tag, which is great, which is going to help you in the dark dimensions. I had a conversation with Dorky where it's like, for the Mephisto, do you skip, or I think it was with Mephisto, like, do you skip Mephisto, you go to Odin, then you go back for Mephisto because there's that mythic section? I
actually think you even go further than that, Seer. I think you go Odin and X before you even go after Mephisto,
which is ridiculous nowadays, just because those tags. But yeah, it's the tag system.
You pick up Super Scroll because that's not a problem, and you can build Super Scroll. You pick up Odin and
you work towards Xavier.
And you pick up Odin and X, and then you go back and take on Mephisto.
Yeah, and you still need to go for Apocalypse and kind of throw the resources at him too, which it's definitely a chase, which is good, but it can be bad. I think they just need to update the tags.
It's a shame because it's a chase if you're currently playing the game
and know what you're doing.
That chase is out.
Yeah, it's like if you don't know what you're doing too.
Yeah, but for you and I, like, Annihilus is going to be a good chase.
Yeah.
For someone coming to this game 12 months down the line, Annihilus is probably going to be a hard skip again.
Yeah, and the whole thing with the tags, like the Xavier thing, I hate the Xavier where it's like the Shadow King, that Shadow King boss, how you basically need that Liberty team on here. Otherwise, if you go and say with like Brimstone's going to mess you up.
No. Brimstone's absolutely fine.
I don't know, because they get the turn meter, and if Damon gets that double tap on you.
Yeah, Brimstone's absolutely fine on that. I've tested that myself.
All right.
In fact, Brimstone is one of the only teams that you can do on Shadow King that you could actually take Old Man Logan with.
I need to test that one out. I might need to test that out. But we went way long on this video, but hopefully you guys are still with us enjoying this video. Make sure you guys do check out Big Positive Geek. He does his Build Positively, really good videos as far as like the management, free to play aspect and everything. Any videos that you want to plug in there, BPG?
No, just the Build Positively ones, really, mate. They're the main video that I do every single month. I then tend to do the team guides. Mm-hmm. But obviously they're as and when the teams come out. I do try to get a video out every week, but I don't like making content. I don't like making content for the sake of just making content. I'd rather make something that gives you guys value.
Yeah, I definitely hear that. If you end up going over his channel, you may see a video with me and him. I don't know if we're going to do it right now or in the future, but I'm definitely open to do a video with you sometime.
100%. What I'd like to do with you, mate, is a video about Cosmic Crucible, because that is something that I know you are very, very well up on, if that makes any sense, and something that I could certainly do with getting better at.
We'll try to get one of those knocked out, but hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, like, share, subscribe, and take care. Thank you, Big Positive Geek. Definitely appreciate it.
Thank you to see you.